another Saturday. You know, when Law and Vogue comes on, there's a lot that you're gonna hear and even learn when we're talking style, we're talking fashion, we're talking beauty. Today, we are talking body art. I'll be joined by a tattoo artist as we get more into things. My name is Vida. You know by now, right? Every single Saturday at 18:30 hours, I come on. My guest today, Hakeem, does body tattoos as well as piercing. So we'll talk more on it. Whatever questions you might have, they'll be answered after this break. Hakeem, welcome. Thank you for joining me on the show today.
Thank you.
Nice. A lot of work that you do with the tattoos. We're talking even body piercing. But I want to start off just talking the artistic side to you, and how you started before you even started to do tattoos on actual bodies. How did you have this interest in art this way?
To start with, I think I've been an artist from my upbringing since I was in primary school, where I used to be a pencil artist at that time. So there was a time I was in college, and then I went to visit an artist. His name is Roy Tattoos.
Okay.
The one who did my first tattoo, actually. This is dedicated to me. Prayer, you love, wealth, and then the money comes first. So from there, I got inspired. It was like, wow, I'm an artist. Why can't I think of a more creative way to express myself out there apart from pencil art? That's why I started tattooing.
Okay, with body art. Was it something that you got into easily, or was it a hard start? And just because it's different to express yourself on paper,
exactly,
and to express yourself on actual human beings on actual skin. What was it like at the start for you?
I wouldn't say it was easy. It took a lot of time and dedication and commitment in order to gain people to trust you at that level. You know, like they say, there's no mistake in art, especially tattooing. Once you make a mistake, you can't correct it. It's not like paper. So yeah, it took a lot of practice for me, and years actually. I've been in the industry for like 6 years now. Yeah. So from there, I got to build a lot of clientele that trusted me, and that still trust me even up to now.
Yeah, 6 years. 6 years is a long time to be doing this. For you, how do you feel about even the development? You're the second tattoo artist I'm hosting on Law and Vogue. I was talking to Danny a couple of weeks ago. Danny from Black Ink.
Oh,
Zambia.
Black Ink Kunda.
Yes. We talked about it, and he was telling me about the challenges at the start when he was just starting out, and it was in how people viewed those who have tattoos.
Exactly.
Are those some of the challenges you were also facing? Like at the start, it's hard to get clients because not many people want to get tattoos. They're afraid of how they'll be viewed.
The society and whatnot, but as I would look at it at this point in time, I think things have changed. You would find people in all kinds of sectors with tattoos. You would find a doctor with a tattoo, a lawyer with a tattoo. So from the start, it wasn't like that. You know, people would actually discriminate people with tattoos, but at the end of the day, it's just art. It's just art, and people express it in different ways. Like they say, some hang it on the wall. We wear ours.
Warehouse in the skin.
Exactly.
Beautifully created, just a little bit of a touch there. And with you mentioning different careers, I have a friend, he's actually a lawyer. One wouldn't expect that a lawyer, but he has like sleeves, he has tattoos all the way, so he knows where to wear his tattoos showing, or if he has them covered, that also comes in. Now, when you're accepting your clients, or maybe when they ask for advice based off what they do, are you one to actually even advise the client, like, okay, seeing you do this, perhaps your tattoo can be here on this part of the body? Are you open to such conversations, or is this something you just solely leave the client to decide?
I'm actually open to such kind of conversations. During inquiry, we would ask the clients, what do you do? Okay, I would want to get this piece, where do you work, and how they'll be viewed from that point. And then we'll advise from there. If they're comfortable with what they want, we give them what they want. At the end of the day, we're just out here to provide a service and do what we love.
and do what you love. You know, the other side to you people doing what you love is something that I think when you've gotten a tattoo, you understand that while you're getting a tattoo, it's actually painful. It's a bearable pain. It's painful, but you forget when you're done. You forget the pain, and that's why you go back again. You're like, okay, I'm ready for another tattoo. You go and get another one. Have you ever had clients where it's just like, okay, it starts to feel for you like, okay, it's too much, you're getting too many tattoos, or are you just like, do what you want to do? Is there such a thing as too many tattoos on the body?
Yeah, to me it's just a normal thing because people take tattoos in different ways. To some it's therapeutic, to some it's just, you know, adornment. So there are some that are actually addicted to the pain. No wonder when I get to have clients and then they ask for, you know, anesthesia, numbing cream and whatnot, I always tell them the pain is the souvenir. Because what's the point of getting a tattoo without going through the entire process of feeling the pain, because that's the traditional way. So there are people that are actually addicted to that sensation that they still come back all the time.
The pain is part of the process. But with you mentioning the numbing cream, how does it come in now where people also, rather, is it something you have done before where you use numbing cream, and is there really a difference when you're working on skin that you've used numbing cream and when a person just is getting their tattoo without numbing cream?
The difference there is just getting a tattoo with numbing cream is a painless procedure, and getting a tattoo without numbing cream, there is pain. I wouldn't say it's unbearable, but it's actually bearable pain.
Yeah, it is a
bearable
pain.
Like a sensation that you get to have. Yeah, so there are clients that prefer, no, me, I want to get my tattoo with numbing cream, and then you apply numbing cream to the process.
Okay. I ask this because some say numbing cream kind of affects the ink or the outcome of the tattoo. Is that true that numbing cream can affect the ink or the
I don't
outcome
think,
of the
from my
tattoo?
experience, I don't think that's true. I've done tattoos with and without numbing cream. The outcome is usually the same. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I always believed. Now my next session, I'm sure I will get numbing cream. I use numbing cream because sometimes, like I was saying, I forget the pain, and then when I'm there, I'm like, oh, it was this painful even last time. And then you kind of even forget about it. But speaking of just what I've heard, maybe we get into some of the misconceptions that you have come across, and you're just like, look, I'm a tattoo artist. This isn't true. What are some of the things that are out there about tattoos that are just misconceptions?
Mostly misconceptions. You'd find people who say, you know, people with tattoos are violent or other criminals, you know. They're involved in all these vices. People with piercings, you know, prostitutes and whatnot, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
Like they say, these people that hide themselves in vitenges and whatnot,
the worst culprits.
Yeah, the worst culprits, because they hide that from within. That someone who expresses the true self, like getting a tattoo and getting a piercing without actually caring about what the society would say. I think that's being free with yourself. That's living your best self.
Okay. Let's talk of when I was talking to Danny from Black Ink. He had told me about how one time he had a client, right? And then this person had even paid up front.
Okay.
They show up at the tattoo parlor. They just start with the ink just a little bit, and the person was just over the pain. They said, I cannot do this, and they stopped. They did not get their full tattoo done.
Yeah.
Have you ever also experienced that as a tattoo artist, where you start and the person feels it's, for me, I cannot take this pain, I'm done, and you don't get to finish your work?
Yeah, I've had a couple of experiences.
A couple of them?
Yeah, a couple of them from my clients. But you know, you have to pay for the session, for the time, because each day is scheduled accordingly. The previous day, and on the appointments are made the day before. So if you reserve to say, I'm getting this piece, you send a picture. In my mind, I'll actually calculate to say, okay, this piece will take from, maybe if we start around 10 or finish around 13. So that simply means if another client wants to book an appointment, it's already reserved. So when that client declines, he or she still has to pay for the time. So it's actually up to them. I mean, you can't force the process if the person doesn't want.
Yeah. If they can't take, as long as they've paid, like you have said, that's the important part, that they do get to pay. But when it comes to the time that you even get to do tattoos, what's the longest that a tattoo has taken for you, from your experience?
From my experience, I think I've had sessions that have taken up to 8, 9, 10 hours. Some more in polyasian tribal tattoos especially. Those ones take time. Sometimes it depends on what the client wants. We do them in sessions. We can do the line work today, and then we shed after a week, after it heals and all. Yeah, depending on the pain tolerance of the client.
Yeah, it is dependent on pain tolerance. You are watching Law and Vogue. We'll talk more on just body art generally, as we also will delve into talking his piercing side of what he does. So stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching Law and Vogue. Thank you for staying tuned. We are talking body art today. I'm talking to a tattoo artist, Hakeem, and mainly for the first half we talked tattoos, but he's also into body piercing, so we'll get into that as well. Now, getting into, I think it's a very good combination, because mostly the people you find with tattoos have a piercing or two. So with the piercing side to you, is this something that came after you realized that, okay, perhaps I could have both the tattoo artistry and the piercings, or which one had come first? The piercings come first, or it came later?
I started them all together.
At the same time?
Yeah. I was actually in love with tattooing, skin, and also piercings. So I started learning about both at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And with the learning, so this is self-taught still, even with the piercing. How was the process in just learning? What did you use the most? Because I like to think piercings are even more sensitive than tattoos. How did you get to that learning process?
Yeah, mostly I have a mentor. Okay. He's from UK. His name is Oliver Ariel. I would usually have online classes with him to like learn about arts, how to tattoo, different type of techniques on how to shade, line, and whatnot, and even how to pierce. And then sometimes YouTube actually helps. Yeah, I always
call it the University of YouTube. YouTube will give you what you want. You can learn from there. You can be entertained.
So sometimes I would do YouTube videos, especially when I'm preparing my mind for a very big piece. You know, tattooing is all about doing your best each single day, improving yourself, pushing yourself forward to say, okay, tomorrow I have to do better than yesterday. So I'd actually prepare my mind before actually starting a piece the previous day. So I'd use YouTube. I'd go on YouTube. Let's take, for instance, I'm doing a rose. I would watch different artists on how they do roses, their approaches and whatnot, and then meditate about it, and then go through with the process. So mainly piercings. Oliver Ariel played a very big role, and also tattooing.
Okay, now, that's really interesting. At least you have people to guide you through it, and also you take the time to do it and just teach yourself through the different means that you can, the different platforms are available. Now, still on the piercing also, now when you got started with the piercing, is this something that you had started with maybe friends before you started to put it out there that this is actual work that I do, and you can get paying customers out of it?
It was funny. Most of it was theoretical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got to have my first piercing clients were, there's a certain massage parlor in, was it Salama Park? Okay. Yeah, they actually booked me for belly piercings. There were about 4. I was very nervous actually. That was my first time, but I managed. And from that time I was like, I can do this. That's why it all started. Like I never really got to a point where I would pierce my friends and whatnot. No, it's never
straight
been
into
like
paying clients.
Yeah.
It's for you if money is calling. Like, exactly. There's money here, just come and do this. Now, let's talk of some of just the pieces that you use, the equipment that you get to use for both the piercing and the tattooing. Is it something that's easy to get, or has it been hard to get the equipment that you get to use for your artistry? Just how do you go about using?
Usually it's online for me.
Okay.
Yeah, eBay mostly. Yeah, and my shipping company is iShop. So I usually order my cartridges, my tattoo machines, piercing equipment, jewelry from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the worries of, because I know with me mentioning that piercings are really sensitive, have you ever had worries of people reacting to the body jewelry that they might use for a certain piercing, or you always make sure that it's something that people do not react to that you're using for these piercings?
I think from my experience in the industry, I've never had any clients who's ever complained about a piercing not healing well or having complications. So my piercings are always on point. I'm sure my clients know.
They know. Then you're one of those people that they say that you have a good hand.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
you have a good hand, Hakeem, you know. Hakeem pierced my nose, pierced my belly, it healed perfectly. I've actually never had any problems with my clients when it comes to piercings.
Okay.
Even tattoos, actually.
Even tattoos as well. Let's talk of the healing process for both. How do you usually advise your clients on just aftercare after a piercing and also after a tattoo?
It actually depends on the type of piercing you're getting.
Okay.
The aftercare varies. Let's take, for instance, an oral piercing, like a tongue piercing. You can't actually take care of it like a belly piercing, because you obviously have to clean it every day with saline, but when it comes to the mouth, you can't do that.
Okay.
So, yeah, so the aftercare differs. I don't know if you can specify, or I should talk about.
I think let's talk about the tongue. I'm always curious on how healing, because usually when you hurt yourself in the mouth, it heals fast. I'm guessing because of the exposure to salt.
Exactly.
But is that the same with a piercing? Does it heal faster than some body parts because of what it's exposed to? The tongue.
Yeah, the tongue heals faster than any piercings, I would say. Any piercing you can get, yeah, the tongue heals faster. I think within a week or two, depending on the body morphology of the client. But the tongue piercing is the fastest piercing when it comes to healing. It heals faster. Okay.
And it's aftercare? The tongue's aftercare?
Mostly I recommend my clients to use salt water. Salt water early in the morning, or mouthwash.
Okay.
Exactly.
I would have thought maybe mouthwash is too, there's so many chemicals for it, in it for it to help heal a wound, but it does aid.
It's not that bad, but mostly, you know, at the end of the day, you still have to clean your mouth.
Yeah.
Because there are people that say, not that there are people that say, they say there are over 1,000 bacteria in the mouth.
The tongue is one of the body parts with the most bacteria.
Yeah.
The tongue is.
So now you can imagine an environment whereby you have a wound, and then there are all these bacteria around. So you have to make sure that you sterilize the mouth all the time, at least every once in a while. I wouldn't say you can completely do that, but at least. So salt water is antiseptic as well. And it's non-reactive. So I recommend warm salt water for my clients at least 2 to 3 times a day. Yeah.
That's how I messed up my leg tattoo. I went swimming the day after getting the tattoo. So but blame the artist then. He didn't tell me. He didn't give me any aftercare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who did your first tattoo?
I can't even remember the guy's name. I can't even remember. It was that long ago. I can't even remember the guy's name. So there was no aftercare advice, nothing, none of that given.
Okay.
For you, is it something that you also learned along the way, or it's something you had picked right from the start, that it's important to make sure that your clients are getting away, they know how to take care of the tattoos?
Before I got into the process, I think I learned about how to teach my clients to take care of the tattoo, because that's very important.
Yeah.
In as much as it depends on me as an artist to execute a perfect job, it also depends on the clients to treat the tattoo well in order for it to heal properly. So that was an essential tool to me. So I made sure I had done all the necessary research to ensure that my clients know how to treat their tattoos well, so that at the end of the day they are satisfied.
Okay. Now, I had earlier on talked of whether you've noticed with the client and thought, okay, this is too many tattoos on this person. Let's talk about it from the angle of piercings also. Yeah. Has there been, what's the most that a person has come through to the parlor and they just got too many piercings? Where it's just like, oh my, you're really getting this done and that done? Yeah. Yeah. What's the most you've seen somebody get when it comes to piercings?
I think I've got a couple of clients that have way too much piercings. Yeah. Way too much, yeah. So for me, it's generally, like I said, it's up to it's individual. You know, I can't necessarily tell you what to do and what not to do. But I can where I can come in to advise, I can advise. You know, piercings are not bad. You can get as many piercings as you want, you know. Yeah. So,
yeah, it's very personal. It is such a personal choice. But when it comes to piercing, yeah, there's times when people just are crazy with their piercings. They'll say, I have a piercing somewhere where it's just, you're like, okay, how can you get a piercing? For you, where's the craziest place? Where's the craziest body part that a client said, okay, I'm getting this piercing done?
I don't think I'd be comfortable to talk about that here.
Is that wild?
Because I've been everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's that crazy. I've been everywhere, actually. I do all types of piercings.
The whole body, nothing
the whole body, nothing is off limits. I do genital piercings, you know. I've done a couple of nipple piercings, to mention but a few.
Mention but a few. I mentioned it, nipple piercings. I'm like, oh my goodness, pain. Yeah. But I guess because it is your work, you always have to deliver. Yeah. Lastly, I like to talk about costs of things, even as people are getting into these things. For you, what's the most you've charged on a tattoo, on a single tattoo, and what's the most you've charged on a piercing?
The most money I've charged on a tattoo, like my highest.
Yeah.
I would say 5,000.
5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. What was it?
It was a polyasian tribal tattoo.
Okay.
It was a forearm, chest, and back.
And you did it in one day?
No. We did it in sessions, but the client actually paid me in advance. Yeah. So when it comes to piercings, I think from my price list, the most highest paying piercing there is genital. Yeah, it's Christina and is MCH. Those ones are 650 kwacha.
You said there's what? What?
Christina.
And
MCH.
I'm kind of lost with this. I'm lost there.
I'll educate you properly, privately, not here.
Oh, it's not for TV. It's not for daytime TV. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. But Hakeem, thank you so much for joining me on Vogue.
Thank you so much.
It's been nice chatting with you.
It's been very nice chatting with you too.
Yeah, we were talking body art today. My guest is Hakeem from Hakeem Tattoos and Piercings. So do look them up on social media. Follow them if you have more inquiries. But I hope we got most of the questions answered that you might have at home. Thank you for watching Vogue today. I'll see you again next week. Thanks to Fashion World for dressing me.